Ah, guess who's back? Guess who is back? Yes, it is me. Once again, it is the Mad Professor. And I am back in the house. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Tim Howard? I see you, my brother. Glad to know that you are alive and well. How you brothers doing? Let me tell you guys, I have missed you. I have missed you. I have missed all you guys so much. And I am happy to be back here on YouTube to share with all you guys and and just have a little conversation with you guys. Just have a little conversation with you. I haven't talked to you guys in over a month since June and what have you. And tonight I'm I'm gonna take my time. I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here too long tonight. I just want to talk with you all about. I want to talk with you all about what has been going on with me over the last 2 months and what have you. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. I'm glad you guys are coming in and coming in strong and what have you. Um, this is summer 2022, and this is a very, very exciting time for all of us, especially black men. And I say it's an exciting time because politically, my guys, politically, we are about to enter into a brand new season. Um, when I started my channel 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, September will make exactly 2 years since I started this channel, and I came on this channel with a political perspective, during the 2020 election, and I came here to talk specifically about the black male condition in the United States. And it's been 2 years, guys. I'm almost 2 years, and I haven't changed anything. What's going on, man? Friday. What's going on? The Hawk TV. What's going on? 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 And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with preliminaries, guys. I'm not going to do that this evening. I really want to get straight to the point. Um, a lot has been happening within our space. A lot of changes have taken place in our space over the last year or so, especially with the passing of our brother Kevin Samuels, and we've seen this space expand. We've seen this space go through convulsions and what have you. And I want to speak a little bit about that. And I want to do that in light of my recent experience on the continent of Africa. And I need to be very, very frank and direct with you guys. I need to be upfront with all of you all. I'm glad you're in the house. I'm glad you're in the house. Some of you guys are going to see this on the replay. I spent more than 2 weeks in West Africa. I went to Senegal, and this was my first trip to the continent. And I have to tell you guys that this was a transformative experience for me. It was a spiritual experience. It was a grounding experience. It was an experience that will stay with me for the rest of my life. What's going on? What's going on? I see you, Devon Treyes. I see you. 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 I'm going to take my time tonight, and I'm not going to be here very, very long. You guys know that I promote traveling. I promote black men. I promote black men getting out of the United States. I promote black men venturing beyond this country. Shout out to all you brothers from the UK. Shout out to all you brothers from the Caribbean. All you brothers from the continent of Africa. All you brothers in South America, and even you non-brothers, you men who come from different mothers. I salute you. Also, I salute you. I have to say this to you guys. I have to say this to you guys. America is not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. I said this to you last year when I took trips to Brazil, and I'm going to echo this to you again this time around. Those of you guys, those of you black men who have the resources and you have the wherewithal, you black men who are adventurous, you black men who are daring, you black men who are risk takers, you guys who want something more out of your lives, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you that travel is the way to go. I'm going to say this to you directly, guys, is that we in the United States, if you've never left this place, it is easy to believe that the United States and its culture, in terms of capitalism and in terms of its politics and feminism and liberalism and all those things, it is easy to believe, my friends, that this is all that exists in the world. If you've not gone beyond your zip code, if you've not gone beyond the state that you've lived in, if you've not gone beyond your region, if you just have never gone beyond the states that are within this country, it's easy to believe that this is just the way the world is. And this is a fallacy. This is a lie. This is not the truth. I went to a country, Senegal, and I went to a particular city in Senegal. Senegal is in West Africa. Um, Black Americans, our lineage is traced directly to West Africa. If you study slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, it was from that part of Africa that people were taken and people were turned into commodities and transported. They were transported to South America, places like Brazil and what we know now as Colombia. They were taken to parts of Central America. They were taken to the Caribbean, what we know today as Haiti, what we know today as Jamaica, what we know today as Martinique, what we know today as Barbados, the Bahamas, the entire Caribbean area, and they were also brought to the shores of the United States. They were loaded as chattel into the ports, into the port of Charleston, what we know today is Charleston, South Carolina, the port of New Orleans. They were transported there as human cargo and were used as as slaves, and they brought their culture with them during the entire process. And I went to West Africa, my guys. I went to West Africa, my guys, and I saw the origin, I saw the root, I saw where it all began. Senegal is a country that was colonized by the French. It is a country where French is the dominant language. It is the official language of the country. They also have indigenous languages that have been there for thousands of years. The main language that is spoken apart from French there is Wolof, Wolof, Nagadef, Nagadef. Nagadef means hello, how are you? And I was able to connect. I was able to connect to that part of Africa where everything began. And I went to a place where for the first time in my life, I'm 49. I would be 49 rather, guys. I would turn 49 in September. September the 6th, I will be 49 years old. And it was truly, 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 truly a moment where I was able to fathom the depths of the Black experience. Guys, we have been disconnected from the continent of Africa. We don't know Africa the way we should know Africa. Those of us Black people in America have never been there. I know a good number of Black Americans who live in Africa, who have traveled back and forth to Africa, the different countries. They've been to Ghana, they've been to South Africa, they've been to Kenya, they've been to Gambia, they've been to Nigeria, various parts of Africa, and what have you. And I can only say to you, brothers, is that there's nothing like standing on soil where you have nothing, nothing, nothing but Black people. Black people. Africa has its challenges, it has many problems, issues, political issues, economic issues, issues in terms of development, um, all sorts of issues, man. Continental Africans are struggling in ways that are not radically, radically different from the way in which we are struggling. But it is a struggle nonetheless, and we are struggling against the legacy of imperialism, the legacy of colonialism, the legacy of slavery. And I want to say to you guys, and again, this is not, I'm not here to be very entertaining tonight. I just want to talk to you guys. And I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad to see Dr. Johnson. Good to see you. My brother, Dr. Johnson, is in the house today. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Ian Graves, I'm glad that you're in the house. I'm glad that all you guys are here today. Malcolm X took a Hajj. Malcolm X, he took a Hajj in his short lifetime. And Malcolm X took a Hajj. He was a Muslim. He was converted to Islam. And Malcolm had an extraordinary journey when he took his Hajj. And if you've read the autobiography of Malcolm X, he talks about it. If you watch Spike Lee's version of The Life of Malcolm X, which came out in 1992, you see all of that. And I felt like Malcolm when I went to Africa. I felt like Malcolm. I did not feel like I was a stranger. A stranger in the sense that I did not belong. I don't speak French. I have a little bit of French under my belt. I'm working on my French. I plan on going back to West Africa. I'm working on it. But at the core, there is a connection between us and continental Africans. I know that in this country, in the United States, we have the ADOS movement. Um, Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore have been at the forefront of the ADOS movement here in the U.S. Tariq Nasheed has been pushing what he has codified as the foundational Black American movement. I know that there are tensions, there are issues between us and continental Africans in the United States. I understand that. I grew up in Miami, Florida. I grew up with Haitians. I grew up with Jamaicans. I grew up with blacks from all over the diaspora as I grew up in South Florida. I understand the tensions, but also I understand the reality of us being black people together in the United States. I am not a Pan-African. I'm not a Pan-Africanist. I'm not a black nationalist. And what I mean by that is that I don't believe, nor do I hope for some utopian type of unity that's going to exist across the board between all black people. I respect the fact that all of us have our differences. We have very significant differences in terms of our histories, in terms of the languages that we speak, in terms of the groups that have dominated us over the course of the centuries. These are differences that are enduring. These are differences that are just going to be with us, and we have to live with these differences. Continental Africans and blacks from the Caribbean who operate in a certain kind of way in the United States, they do so out of their experiences. And we black Americans in the US, we operate the way we do as a result of our experiences. And from my perspective and from where I am today at my age and with my life experience, I am not going to allow the differences that exist between all of us, the continental Africans, those from the Caribbean, and ourselves, to prevent us from having some type of synergy, energy between and among us. I have no issues with continental Africans. I have no issues with other black people from the diaspora. And the reason why I do is because I understand our histories. And I understand that we are manipulated by imperial forces. We are manipulated by those who have colonized and enslaved us. We have those things in our, unfortunately, our cultural DNA. And it's going to take some time for us, for many of us, to overcome all of those things. But what I want to get to is my experience. I met Africans, imperfect Africans, Africans who have their own problems, Africans with a different culture who practice Islam, Africans who speak French, who are dealing with French, the legacy of French colonialism, Africans who are trying to develop their countries so that they would be competitive with the rest of the world. I had an experience that was very, very profound. And I was fortunate to sit down and talk to people there, men and women who are worldly in their orientation, who know the world, who know our history, who are aware of our situation, aware of the struggles that have existed over the last at least 70 years in terms of Black people on the planet. And what I want to say to you guys, is that I was taken to a different level of enlightenment and information. So much so that I have been driven, and I am driven to go back and to study and to research as many African countries and cultures as I possibly can for the rest of my days. I'm committed to that. I was reminded how much I love Black people, how much I care about Black people, how much I feel connection to Black people in spite of all of our imperfections and all of our differences. I'm not a Pan-Africanist, I'm not a Black nationalist, but I love Black people. I care about Black people. And I care about the future of the Black world, the entire Black world on the planet. And you guys have seen my videos that I posted. You guys have seen what I saw and experienced while I was in the car. And it was a wonderful thing. It was a wonderful thing. And the most impactful part of all of it, my guys, is that in my experience, I discovered that these Africans are not trying to be American. They're not trying to be like us. Yes, the American culture that we have produced in America has implanted itself there, and they have their own remix of American culture. You've got Afrobeat. You've got Afrobeat on the continent. You have African versions of hip hop on the continent that have been influenced by Black Americans. You have a style, you have an aesthetic, you have a sensibility that is there that we as Black Americans have contributed to. So our influence is everywhere. I said this on my Facebook page, guys. I said this to so many folks. Africa, Senegal in particular, is an Islamic country. Islamic. Islam is everywhere. They don't have the same Islam as you find in Northern Africa. Their version of Islam is not the same as Islam that is practiced in Tunisia, Islam that's practiced in Morocco, in Egypt, in Libya. Hell, they don't have a version of Africa that's Islam rather that's practiced in northern Nigeria. That is the Arab influence. There is what we call African Islam, and you have Arab Islam. African Islam and Arab Islam are not the same things. They're not trying to be Arab. They're not trying to be like Saudi Arabia. They're not trying to be like Afghanistan. They're not trying to be like Iraq. They have an African expression of Islam that has existed for centuries. And I was moved by African Islam. I was moved by it. And I'm going to share with you guys why I was moved by it, because many decades ago, when I was a much, much younger man, as a young man who was Christian, a practicing Christian in Christian churches in the 1990s, I came real close to converting to Islam. I came real close to becoming a Muslim. I came real close. And the reason why I became close, I got close rather, to becoming a Muslim is because deep within my soul and spirit, I felt that their practice of religion, of Islam, was authentic. It was real. It was impactful. It had structure. It had order. It had so many things that I deemed lacking within Christianity, Black churches, among Black people in America. Black American Christianity is American. Black American Christianity is infected with the liberalism and the decadence of American society. And at that time, Islam was something different in America, among African Americans. Today, Islam has been liberalized. Islam in America, among Black Americans, now looks like what Christianity has looked like among Black Americans. So I wanted to become a Muslim, but I didn't become a Muslim. But I had a deep admiration and respect for Islam because of the sense of order. Family in particular, the family structure had order, has order. And so when I returned, when I went to West Africa, I saw indigenous traditional Islam practiced there, and it took me back to when I was a younger man. And it was a very, very profound thing. I'm still interested in Islam as it is practiced among Africans. Not only am I interested in Islam as it's practiced among Africans, but I'm also interested in African traditional religion. Yoruba religion, Obatala, Oledumare, Shango, all of the gods, all of the African gods. Indigenous religion in Africa, the priesthood. Anyway, that was a part of my spiritual experience. The people in Senegal that I met, they're very hospitable. They're very kind. They're nice. They're not perfect people, but they believe in hospitality. They believe in respect. Hospitality, respect, dignity, those are very, very, very important things in the culture. Honor, honor, very, very important things in the culture. Rudeness is not a part of the culture. Rudeness and ratchetness, and this is just my limited experience, I'm going back. Rudeness and ratchetness, disrespect, dishonor, from what I saw and what I experienced, is not something that is venerated or elevated. You have to treat people with a basic level of human dignity. And this is not just African, this is traditional cultures all over the world. In traditional cultures, there is a code of honor and hospitality that you must respect. I want you to look at the avatar. I want you to look at the avatar that I have up on this video. You see the women. I saw the Islamic women The women there are not American women. They don't have the disposition of American women. There was a different code. There was a different mentality. In every society, you're going to have your ratchets. Or rather, in every society, you're going to have women who are not traditional. In every society that you go to, you're going to have women who are not traditional. But the women who are not traditional are not the ones who dictate the behavior of women. Let me say this again. The women who are not traditional are not the women who dictate the behavior of women. In other words, the ratchets and the rules that you might find in these societies do not define what it means to be a woman. There is a different energy that is there, my guys, a very different energy. I didn't feel like a utter stranger. I'm not from there. I knew that I was American. Yes, I was aware, profoundly aware that I am an American in this African country. I was profoundly aware of that. There were differences. And they call Americans foreigners, whether it doesn't matter what background you are, what racial composition you have, or what have you. If you're not born there, you are considered a foreigner. But I'm there as a black man. I did not feel completely foreign. Brothers, I did not want to leave West Africa. I did not want to leave West Africa. I was there a little over 2 weeks. I didn't want to leave. The day that I was scheduled to fly out of Dakar, Senegal, I thought about extending my stay. I did not want to leave. I did not want to come back to the United States of America. So much I liked it. And it was how much I just didn't want to come back to the States. And since I've been back, my brothers, I've been yearning to get out of the States. I don't want to be here. I don't like the American situation as it is. I don't like it. I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. We on YouTube. I'm part of this Black manosphere because I don't like this situation that we are in the United States. I haven't been producing a lot of videos, and I took my time going live, guys. Because I've been disappointed. Because I've been disgusted with what's going on in America and what's been going on in our space and what's going on in Black YouTube. I'm nauseated, guys. I'm nauseated. Support the channel. Support the channel. Thank you, Tim Howard. Thank you, Tim Howard. If you want to contribute, you can do that. Cash App, $ BMI 3000. Cash App, $ BMI 3000. You can support the channel by doing that. I'm being serious tonight. This is not about entertainment. I really didn't plan, you know, I know I've done unplanned, unscripted stuff in the past, but tonight I really wasn't. I mean, this week I didn't know when. I did not plan on coming on YouTube this soon and talking. I've been taking my time because I've been disgusted. I've been utterly disgusted. And I don't want my channel to go in negative direction. I want to put out good energy. But I've been disgusted with the state of things. And this is why I want to get out of here. I want to leave. I'm still going to be here, but I'm just being honest with you. I want to leave. I don't like being in the US. I just don't like being in the US. Our space, the space where we created, which Black men created, has become a cesspool. It has become a cesspool for blue pill thinking and ideology. God bless our brother Kevin Samuels and everything that he represented and stood for. Kevin Samuels helped to mainstream our space. In doing so, he opened the door for a lot of hustlers, a lot of charlatans, a lot of chameleons, a lot of opportunists. The door has been opened for a lot of people to use and manipulate this space that was created to deal with Black men's independence, Black men's agency, and Black men's empowerment. There is a blue pill wave that is happening right now. A blue pill wave. And most of the blue pillars that are out there, they tend to be millennials. And don't take this wrong if you happen to be a millennial. But there are a lot of blue pill millennials that are out here in this space that's supposed to be dealing with men and men's issues. And they've brought the gynocracy with them. And they're having these conversations with the gynocrats. The conversation is no longer about Black men's independence. The conversation is no longer about Black men's agency. The conversation is no longer about Black men's empowerment. The conversation is about people who are too far gone. The conversation is about people who don't respect you. She does not belong to you. I said this to you months and months ago. She does not belong to you. She does not belong to you. She will not submit to you. She does not respect you. She has no incentive whatsoever to respect you. She has no incentive whatsoever to submit to you. Having a conversation with her is an utter, utter waste of time. Thinking that you can come back to the negotiating table, that you can go back to a place where you can bargain. It is a fool's errand. It is a fool's errand. Well, you have all these people having these conversations. All these conversations for what? This American woman. I'm not talking about. I'm not just talking about the Afro American woman. I'm talking about the American woman. This American woman is beyond rehabilitation. This is something that you need to understand. This is something that black men who are invested in black men's independence, who are invested in black men's agency, who are invested in black men's empowerment, you need to understand this. We are heading into a recession. We might go into a depression. The safety net that she has relied on for decades, 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 decades is slowly, slowly, slowly crumbling. She is in survival mode. Survival mode. When you are in survival mode, you will do anything in order to survive. When you are in survival mode, you will sell your soul to your slave master. You will sell your soul to your oppressor. You will sell your soul to anybody who will help you live. And there is no morality, there is no honor, there is no dignity that comes with what you sell. She's in survival mode. And this blue pill stuff that's happening right here, this blue pill stuff is a reflection of survival. And what I have learned, and this is the thing that has got me. Good to see you, BGS. This thing has got me. I realize, I have realized in recent months and days that we have not fully, as black men, many of us have, as black men, we have not fully accepted independence. We have not fully embraced agency. we are not really serious about empowerment. I realize, and I have to say, guys, I have to say, thank you, Man Friday. Thank you, Man Friday, for that. I have to say that the late David Carroll was right. David Carroll was right. Thank you, Man Friday, for that super chat, my brothers. Salute to you, my brother from the UK, from the United Kingdom, man. Shout out to you. When I say that David Carroll was right, I'm saying this. David Carroll said this over and over and over again, that this woman has damaged the black male over generations. She has damaged the psyche of the black male to the extent that the black male is darn near hopelessly codependent on her. That we are attached, too many of us, to the umbilical cord. You can be a 40-year-old black man, you can be a 50-year-old black man, you can be a 30-year-old black man, and the umbilical cord has not been severed. The umbilical cord is still there. That this gynocracy, this matriarchy has utterly infantilized black men. It has utterly reduced black men to children. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you for that super chat. Black men have been reduced to children. Bell Hooks, and I've talked about her a lot. Bell Hooks, who died recently. She died at the age of 67, and in her work, when she died, she went to her grave. She went to her grave with the fundamental belief that black men were two things. Number one, black men were savages, and number two, black men are children. Black men are savages that must be tamed, and number two, black men are children. Black men are black boys that must be led by black women. Must be led by black women. And there are too many of us as adult black men who have not emancipated ourselves from that. We deep down believe that the black woman is the mother goddess and that the black woman is the person to lead us. We want her validation. We want her recognition. We want her to love us. The black American woman. We want love and we want adoration. We want affection from this woman. We want love, adoration, and affection from a woman who refuses and will not give those things to us. And this is the blue pill. This is the blue pill. When you are in that blue pill conundrum, you are essentially a child. You are her child. You are her baby. You are her boy. That's what you are. That's what a black man is in the blue pill. You are a boy. You are never a man. And when you are a boy and you are never a man, you will give passes. You will exonerate. You will exonerate the abuse of the mother. You will exonerate the disrespect of the mother. You will exonerate the violence of the mother. You will exonerate the neglect of the mother. You will exonerate the ineptitude of the mother. You will defend the mother at all costs when you are caught in that blue pill conundrum. Thank you, Golden Jaguar. Thank you for that contribution, my brother. Thank you, Eli, for that Cash App. Eli Sanyinka, thank you for that Cash App. Thank you, Ian Graves. And this is why I'm disgusted. This is why I'm disgusted right now with our space. This is why I'm having a hard time with producing videos. I'm having a hard time with the live streams because of this blue pill invasion. Too many black men have convinced that they have no other alternative. The blue pill invasion on YouTube in this black male space right here, it convinces you that you have no other alternative, that there's no other person, that there's nowhere else to go. That if you're 50 years old, you're 60 years old, you're 40 years old, you're 30 years old, that you must cast your lots with someone who has utter contempt for you, someone who disrespects you, someone who thinks that you are a savage and a child, someone who looks at you through the lens of white supremacy. This is the problem. I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to have a conversation. The color purple. The color purple is darn near, as a movie, the film, The Color Purple is close to 40 years old. The film. The Color Purple has versions that have ran on Broadway for close to 10 years. They reinvent The Color Purple over and over and over and over and over again. You want to negotiate with that? You want to sit down and have a conversation with that? Is that what you want to do? Thank you, Dr. J. Thank you for that support, Dr. Johnson. Shout out to you. Y'all support the honest support. Support the honest support. You want to have a conversation with that? You have a culture of prostitution, a culture of prostitution. She's telling you every day, every single day that she is committed to a culture of prostitution, and you want to commit yourself, you want to have a conversation with that? She does not want to be a mother, she does not want to be a wife, and you say that you want to have a conversation with that? In order for a family to survive, somebody has to know how to cook. You have to clean. You have to have hygiene. You have to have hygiene. You have to cook. You have to clean. You have to have domestic skills. You have to be able to operate in the event of a calamity, a catastrophe. But this person does not have the skills for that. And you want to negotiate with that? Thank you, Dark Disciple. Thank you, Dark Disciple, for that. We appreciate you. It is madness. It is madness. We want to talk. We want to have a conversation. You want to waste your time in a conversation. Wasting your time in a conversation. Thank you, my man, Show Enough. Salute to you. Thank you, my brother. You're doing the work. This work has to be done. We preaching, brothers. That's right. There you go. In the motherland. BMI, BME, BMA. Yes, sir. BMO. The black man's option. That's it. You want to have a conversation with that? Someone who has been incentivized. She has been incentivized by the United States government. She has been incentivized by corporate America to not deal with you, to see you as less than, to see you as a peon, to see you as a member of the proletariat. You want to have a conversation with that? This is why I don't want to be here in the United States. This is why I don't want to be here. This is why. This is why I can barely look at YouTube now. I can barely look at YouTube. All of the recommendations, everything that comes to me, most of the people that I subscribe to in our channels, Black Manosphere channels, and I'm getting other stuff that's coming from all this blue pill stuff. Thank you. Only thing constant is change. Thank you. Good to see you, man. Thank you. I'm glad you're here, brother. Thank you, brother. I did not want to leave the continent of Africa. My mind was clear. My head was clear. My head was clear. I met women in Africa. I had fun. I went out. I showed you the video. I went out on dates when I was there. I talked to women. I went to the clubs. I had fun. I had fun. A different vibe, different dynamic, different cultural scene. There's no war on masculinity. I went to the Monument de la Resistance, the Monument of the Resistance in Africa. You saw the picture that I put on my YouTube page. That big statue, that huge, humongous statue. It is the largest monument on the continent of Africa that pays tribute to the struggle of Black men and women and children in the world. It is the largest monument on the continent of Africa, and I have to say it is the sole monument on the planet that pays tribute to the struggle of Black men, women, and children on the planet. There is no war. There is no war on heterosexuality. There is no war on heterosexual Black men in Africa. They're not trying to tell you masculine. They're not trying to tell you that there's something demonic and pathological and criminal about you being a heterosexual Black man in Africa. Feminism has made some inroads into Africa. It has made some inroads in the most westernized parts of Africa. Some of the most westernized parts of Africa, feminism has made some inroads, but the Africans have a cultural buffer wall. They have a cultural and linguistic buffer wall against a lot of that stuff because they have traditions that believe in family. They have traditions that believe in man and woman and children and the family unit. That it's not normal for children. It is not normal for children to be raised without male authority. And again, I don't romanticize anything. I don't romanticize any culture. All cultures are human. They're all flawed. But America is messed up. You guys who have the wherewithal, you guys who have the resources, you have the discipline, get out the country. Get out. Get out. See something different. You don't have to relocate. You don't have to be an expat. You don't have to relocate to another country. But you need to see something that is completely different from what you have seen here in the United States of America. You must go somewhere and observe the people. You must go somewhere and suck in the culture and look at the dynamics. Look at how people interact, and look at how the society is organized. You need to do that for yourself psychologically. This is for your mental. This is for your mental health. Our culture in America, Black people, I hate to say this, we have been destroyed. We have been destroyed internally. We have been destroyed. This Black American culture, it has been destroyed. This Black American culture has been destroyed. The Black American culture that exists today, that exists right now in 2022, is weaker, is more fragile, and more disintegrated than any other previous Black American culture. That is, Black people who lived in Jim Crow had a stronger culture. Black Americans who lived under the conditions of Jim Crow, they did not have a perfect culture, but the culture was much stronger. It was more durable than the culture that exists right now. Good to see you, Saint 6'9". Good to see you, my brother. Get that passport, get out the country, travel. Get out. Get out. I can barely watch. I can't even watch Dr. Johnson's videos. The honest report. I can't watch Dr. Johnson's videos. The honest report. And the reason why I can't watch Dr. Johnson's, I have a hard time watching Dr. Johnson's videos is because Dr. Johnson outlines the problem in each video. And it's infuriating. It's infuriating. I could not watch Dr. Johnson's recent videos on the Black Panther and the Woman King and stuff that's going on with Marvel. I couldn't watch those videos because it's infuriating. The level of hatred, the level of misandry that is directed towards Black men is infuriating. And I have to back up to protect my mental health. To protect my mental health, I have to back up and stay away from some of the content. Even my own reading, even my own study, and even my own writing. I'm finishing a book right now. I have to back up. I have to put the book aside. I got to put the writing aside. I got to put the research aside because it's infuriating when you come face to face with the level of hatred and all of the evil that's projected on Black men. This is why I don't want to be here. And I'm just being completely honest. Being completely honest with you. We have been destroyed. Racism, white supremacy, through capitalism and institutions has worked to destroy us. But the gender stuff and the gender ideology through the workings of these women and how women have been weaponized against us, the way in which the Black female has been weaponized against us over and over again, and she continues to be weaponized against us, it has destroyed us. It is infuriating. I don't want to be here, guys. I really don't. The more I the more I leave, the more I travel, the less I want to be here. It just takes it out. It just takes it out. It changes your worldview. It changes your psychology. It changes your personality. Traveling changes your personality. I just want to say, guys, is that, and again, I said I didn't want to make this a long stream. This American situation is not the end all be all. It is not the end all be all. If you guys don't get anything from me, it is not the end all be all. For all you guys, some of you guys who have a limited capacity to travel, you have a limited capacity to get outside the states. I'm going to say this to you guys, is that you always have the ability to vote with your feet. You can always vote with your feet. Vote with your feet. Men, heterosexual men who are healthy, who have a healthy desire to have companionship, who have a healthy desire to be with the opposite sex. Men like that, we want to be with somebody who's going to be mutual with us. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it for having a healthy desire to have companionship with the opposite sex, be it short term or long term. It's healthy, it's normal. But within the context of the United States, my guys, within the context of the United States, I'm saying this to all of you guys. If you have to roll solo, if you just have to be by yourself in order to maintain your mental health, to maintain your sanity, do that. Do that. If you have to be by yourself and have peace by yourself, do that. If you can't find it from a different woman, from a different culture here in the U.S., be it an African woman, a woman from the Caribbean, a Latina woman, a white woman, an Asian woman, you name it. If you can't get there here in the United States, don't be afraid to be by yourself. And for the rest of you guys who have resources and the rest of you guys who have the energy and you have the wherewithal to jump on a plane and leave the United States, I want you to do that. That's what you do. Get out of here. Leave. It is more beneficial if you have the resources. If you have the resources, it is more beneficial to travel and find companionship and love and relationships in another country, another culture, another society, a place where they even speak a different language. It is more beneficial in the long run than being here and dealing with what is here in the United States. The benefits, my guys, and I told this to a black man recently, the benefits will always outweigh the cost. Always. Guys, I'm wrapping this up, but this is all I wanted to say, man. So all I wanted to say, and it's been a while since we had this conversation together, brothers. I want you guys to enjoy your lives. I don't know where this blue pill stuff is going. It's very disappointing. It's very nauseating to me. But I want you to know, guys, I don't plan on being here. I mean, I'll be back and forth. I'm not relocating. I haven't decided to relocate anything, but I have no faith in this country in terms of male-female relationships. No faith. Anyway, guys, I really thank you guys for tuning in and for being a part of the broadcast. I don't know when I will go live again because a lot of this stuff is weighing heavily on me. A lot of this stuff is going weighing heavily on me. I don't know when I'm going to go live again. But if you don't see me, you understand why you haven't seen me because of the climate that we're in right now. Continue to support. I appreciate you guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday night and the upcoming weekend. We're going into a brand new month of August, brothers. Remember to uphold the banner of Black men's independence, Black men's agency, and Black men's empowerment. And I can't forget Black men's happiness. You guys take care, and I hope to see you real soon. Peace out.